my cast of Almost Popular. I think we're talking about all the influences and all the inspiration behind Almost Popular because, you know, the movie's about influencers, I guess.
Influencers.
So let's talk about the influences of the actual movie.
Yeah, okay.
You want to do that? I have so many influences. Like, I don't even think I told you guys.
Okay, wait, okay, then you start. You start with
First one.
Yeah.
Ruby, I don't even know if you remember this, but I used to say to Ruby, what would Jim Carrey do?
Oh my gosh, yes. Physical comedy,
thank you.
And I've always loved that so much. Like growing up, like that's my favorite thing to do. That's my favorite thing to watch. Because it's kind of hard. And it was kind of hard playing Susie too because it's really important and like to put it in like appropriate places and not overdo it and like make it special.
The gag, the hand, every little thing.
She'd fall off the bed.
Exactly.
Like,
You just try to punch it up a little. And I love physical humor.
Yeah.
Even Reid.
Yeah.
I mean, one time I gave Reid bad direction. I was like, Reid, get punched in the face and just fall. It was Tahani. And I was like, just punch him in the face and let him fall backwards. It'll be funny. And Reid was like, Nayip, can I talk to you?
I remember I took him aside and I was like, listen, I do stunts. Just let me. I said, just
every actor says that to you, by the way.
Yeah, but no, it's true. I do, and I have for like my entire life. And I said, just trust me. Let me just do my thing. I know what I'm gonna do. Let's just roll it.
That's a great idea.
And you know, obviously, got to work with you, which was amazing. And I just threw myself everywhere. I flew back and
one take.
Yeah. I flew back and I hit the table, hit the ground. I get back up to say something to her, and then I pass out again, hit the table. And what we didn't plan was my shoe flying off my foot in a cross frame.
To be honest, I thought you did that on purpose because you're really good with like doing those little things. I was like, he's like, you know.
Remember like one scene in specific where we're in the newsroom and Darby is like, you know, kind of
so chaotic.
You know, she's exposing us that we bought followers. And like Reid at the end of the scene just started to like duck under the table and like throw shit around and like he was running out and like I just kind of had to like match his energy, but it was so much fun.
Those were some of my favorite moments.
Yeah.
Well, when I booked this project, it was obviously such a intense, intimidating role to take on, and being my first leading project, I was like, how am I going to go about this? So I started thinking of all the inspiration that I liked and the movies I used to watch, and I just started making this little kind of mood board. Wow. I brought it.
She goes, can I bring this over?
This little like mood board of what I thought Vicki would be like, and it was just, I was like, everything pink, everything boys, sparkly, just
Megan Fox.
Body one is so good.
Jennifer's Body, you know, Ashley Tisdale from High School Musical, and I knew she had a belly button piercing, so I was like, okay, that's her go-to moment. I started listening to Gwen Stefani on the way to set. I was like, this girl rules the school. Like, what are the most hot 2000s characteristics I can bring to this character? And that's how I started.
God, I love that.
I think a lot of the times you guys would be like, what do you want me to do? And I'm like, whatever you feel like doing, because I love this, like the spontaneity of humor. So a lot of the times I was like, just go with whatever you guys feel. Like while we stuck to the amazing script that Pam wrote, there were times where I was like, you know what you're saying, but just how would you say this? And so we would get some little bits, nuggets of humor out of those little moments. Go ahead, Tanya. Yeah. Oh, you're just waving. Look, body humor. Go ahead. Physical comedy.
Well, and I know we're talking about inspirations, and I think a big inspiration too for the physical humor, at least for me, was Buster Keaton.
Okay.
You know, he's just such a, I mean, he's always been a huge inspiration for me in terms of the physical humor. So that was, I think, my inspiration for Bobbie was just having a little bit of that, like, you have a character who knows exactly what he wants to be and is so rigid in where he's going, but the line that he's walking at like, you know, he's just a bit of a spaz. and it's just, you know, he's just a weird little goober.
Gonna have to agree to disagree with you on that one.
That was a huge thing for me. Is like, let's be quirky, let's be odd, let's really stand out from every other movie that's out there. I don't want it to be clean and polished. No offense, I know my people have been booking Netflix, Disney, but I wanted it to have a little bit of grit.
I also think the writing as well. I mean, I feel like a lot of the time, sometimes with like high school movies nowadays, you watch and you're like, you can so tell it was like a 60-year-old man that wrote it or something. But I'm not sure if it's because, you have like Sarah, your daughter, and you were around kids all the time that you were able to write it so real, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously Nayip, you giving us creative freedom to sometimes improvise. I think that really helped.
You guys literally could take anything off paper, and you guys were so talented. Honestly, everything you guys did, I was like, damn, my job's easy today.
You guys also seamlessly helped that though. Like all of our chemistry, me and you knowing each other, and then I literally met you the same day that we had our kissing scene. We literally met 10 minutes before, and then it was like, hey. Like,
I had asked his mom for that kiss. I was like, oh yeah, my mom was there. I was like,
I also asked his mom for that kiss as well, because I was like, he was like, it's fine. I was like, wait a minute. Mom? And honestly, it helped. You guys knew our personality and you knew what we could do and bring to the table, and your writing and your directing really just meshed everything together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to lean on a lot of the movies I grew up watching, and a lot of that was like I'm a big Jim Carrey fan. Like I love that humor. So I was trying to use a lot of those influences into this film. And when you see the film, it's riddled with influences from my childhood. And a lot of my notes were just like, what would this person do? Even Vicki. Like Vicki was inspired by Heathers and Jawbreakers. I know Mean Girls is people's first reaction, but Mean Girls was influenced by Heathers and Jawbreakers. And then Isabella, my note to Isabella was, you're the realism of the film. So while everyone else is in the surreal world, Isabella kind of brings them down to earth. Pam, what do you think?
I think the beauty of it is, so I grew up in the 80s watching all of John Hughes's films. He grew up in a suburb of Chicago, and I did as well. And I was just like obsessed with his movies in the 80s. And I have teenagers in my house every day, all day. And during COVID, they were in my house even more, or on FaceTime. Literally, we had like 3 phones set up at the dinner table. Oh my God. And there were teenagers on FaceTime with us at dinner. And so for the first time, I was able to spend 24/7 with all of these kids, and they were funny. And I thought, I need to start writing some of this down. So I started writing, and then I got the script to Nayip through a mutual friend. And I think what Nayip did so beautifully is make it this timeless film.
That's good.
Yeah?
That's good.
It is timeless in the sense that I went to every decade, from the music to the palettes to the wardrobe. It was everything that I loved from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. I'm a huge Sofia Coppola fan, and I've always wanted to see what that would look like in like a comedy, kind of fun, colorful world. So I was inspired by a lot of her palette, and I love that palette. I love flowers, I love wallpaper. I wanted you to feel the film.
Yeah.
And I wanted you, when you guys walked into your rooms, to feel like, oh, this feels lived in. Everything, I wanted it to be an extension of the character. Oh, and just like the music, like I was able to get music that I listened to when I was your guys' age. Like, I did not think we were gonna get this. Is like,
it's huge.
Massive.
It's iconic.
It's my love letter to high school films, and I was like, damn, I grew up watching these movies, and now I get to make one. I was a big high school movie guy because
so beautiful.
High school was such a thing for me.
I can't believe any of it, to be honest. Yeah. I literally, the first day of shooting, I sat there and Ruby and Reid took my breath away. I was like, oh my gosh, it was, I'm gonna cry again. It was everything and more that I dreamed it could be. And just every day was this experience of like, I can't believe these people have come together under Nayip's direction to bring this script to life. And then when I saw the movie, it was like a movie.
Yeah.
It was like,
you know, when you do stuff, you're like, is this gonna be good or a movie? And then when you see it, there was such a relief. When I saw them two the first day of set, and Isabella came a few days later, and I was like, oh my God, I think we have a movie.
It was complete. Yeah, for sure.
And then you as the villain, and also you, when we casted Elijah, he came in and he auditioned, and I was like, there's something about Elijah that is the leading man.
Yes.
He was so, his eyes, he was so, he just looked like someone you could trust and talk to. So that, like, you immediately stole that and put that in a different direction, because every other actor that was coming in there, I was like, they're just not doing it. And then he came on screen and just like, you just had this calmness and warmness about you that was just, we hadn't seen that. Even when I saw Ellodee's audition, Pam called me. She's like, you got to see this girl, Ellodee. And immediately as a director, I'm trying to build up this movie. I was like, well, like, who is she? What is it? She's like, just watch her.
Just trust me.
And I drive and I watched it and I was like, yes, this is someone who's going to come to play.
Ew. Go back to your short bus.
I think for me, so when I first was like introduced to Susie and Nayip was telling me about her, and one of the first things that he said was like, I want your hair to be like natural and like super wild. I have really curly, big hair. And even just that like small detail that he told me like set the tone for the kind of girl that like I visually saw Susie as. I remember you threw in like one thing about Napoleon Dynamite and kind of like the awkwardness and like I think like the physicality to Susie, and then like I always just immediately saw like orange and yellow and stripes and braids, and
This is who you kind of are.
right? It's like
You're a little bit of a hippie.
but it was so much fun to be that every day. Like it was the actual time of my life and so freeing.
Reid, you had a lot of politician inspo and JFK and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Bobbie and I are very different in terms of who we are as people, but I think that's the beauty of being an actor, being a performer, is being able to walk a mile in a complete stranger's shoes. I really did try to infuse that layer in Bobbie where he has this crazy energy and he's, just this weirdo fun guy who has such a wholesome goal in his life, which is to become a politician and to create a better world for anyone and everyone, for everyone to fit in. And I think that there are a lot of moments in this movie, for my character specifically, where I was drawing from real life experiences. And again, this is very light. This is a very fun movie. There was no method acting involved. But being able to work with a cast, specifically these two amazing women here, it gives you the opportunity, at least it gave me the opportunity, to really step out of my comfort zone and really be enveloped in the moment and not focus on, let's make this funny, or not focus on, we're acting, but we're focusing on being in the moment. And I think that's what makes it so funny, is because we were all so close and we were able to be so in the moment, we were just able to be goofy and crazy. And yeah, I don't know. I think it was a really special experience.
Yeah, I just want to jump on something that Reid said that was so important to me. Two things. One is when my son Luke, who's now a 22-year-old, very tall, very straight guy, was 3 years old, he was climbing a tree in these pink, I don't even know where he found them, these pink boa heels. And I was like, he is so cute right now. He loves those heels, right?
That's so cute.
And I saw people watch him climbing the tree, and he had, cargo shorts on and some, boy shirt. And they kind of looked like, a little in a way that was maybe they were not approving of it. And I thought, he's so happy right now. Why would we take that away from him? So as I was writing the movie, I really felt so strongly about tapping into this love of yourself and being who you are and being okay with it. And I think that's a thing too that Reid, you did so beautifully with Bobbie's character, and just making sure that, your journey is your own. And in high school, I remember, it wasn't different in the 80s. We all wanted to be popular. We all wanted to fit in, and we were all trying to be somebody a little bit different. But when we found who we really were, it's like putting on a pair of shoes that's like, there it is. When you find your people, you don't have to pretend.
Oh.
And I think that is what the cast brought to life so beautifully.
Bobbie was the hardest character because so many people came in with an idea of Bobbie, while Reid found what Bobbie truly was, his essence really was.
Yeah. The beauty and Bobbie still figuring out who he is, and the film not trying to force him into a box, I think is going to make Bobbie an even more relatable character to a wider audience of people.
More so than Elliot Spencer or Gary Hart or that Englishman that made love to a pig.
I don't know who any of those people
They're the most high-profile political humiliations ever.
Because they're looking at someone who they can relate to in the sense of he's still figuring it out. He's expressing himself in this way that he feels confident in. It makes him feel comfortable. And I hope that just that journey, that part of Bobbie is going to give just even one person who is in high school or middle or wherever, even late in life, who have felt like, I want to express myself in this way. They never felt comfortable to. Maybe they see this movie randomly and that role gives them the confidence to
put the damn heels on.
Yeah, to put the damn heels on.
God, at the end of this movie, I hope you just feel like a big sigh of relief. You're like, oh my God, I've been seen. You know what I mean? Like, I want you to be able to find yourself in each one of the characters. But now, I realized that what I really wanted was to matter. And to make sure others know that they matter too.
100%. I mean, I think the two-word answer is just authentically embrace. Feel yourself. Be in yourself. Be authentically yourself, and don't worry about constantly trying to fit the mold. I think that's what a lot of people in society try and do. It doesn't matter what age you are. You want to feel accepted. You want to feel a part of a tribe. But I think the more that people step into themselves, the more we see that our tribe is all around us because we're all different. So I thought that was really a really beautiful piece of this movie.
For sure.
I wanted this to be a comfort film. I wanted young girls and boys to have a sleepover and watch this film. And when you watch a movie and afterwards you're like, that was nice.
Let's go to the
and I
now.
think there's so much heavy high school content right now. There's like a lot of sex, rock, and all that stuff in high school movies. And I just want people to feel good. I wanted 90 minutes of joy.
Yeah.
And if you're not the most popular kid, or you don't have who you are figured out, I wanted you to watch this movie and go, I'm like Susie or Bobbie. I'm like Isabella. I'm like Jasmine. I'm like Dave.
Huh? Who?
I'm not like Vicki.
Ew. Go back to your short bus.
But that was the meat for me. Like, I really wanted kids to just have something fun.
It's just a fun, feel-good movie that is positive for everyone, and it's about being unapologetically yourself and being inclusive to everyone.
Yeah.
I also think everyone can have redemption. I'm sick and tired of seeing people say you don't get a second chance, because I think that's baloney. Yeah. I think everyone deserves a second chance, and I think this film actually showcases that really beautifully. What about you, though?
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with that, honestly. At the end of the movie, Renee has the opportunity to ruin Vicki and expose her for all of the things that she was hating on Susie and Bobbie for trying to do, and, she decided not to.
Your character is doing the same thing your character's doing.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times our enemies are people who are very similar to us and want the same things. So I think the movie is about acceptance. It's about not being a follower. It's about wearing heels. It's about wearing your hair the way you want to wear it. It's about wearing a shirt and clothes that make you feel like
acceptance is such a great word.
It's all about acceptance. So if you feel a little like you don't have a circle, I hope when you watch this movie, you create your own circle.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's what made this movie so special to me, because I know on the surface it's like a silly little high school movie to me, but I think when you really peel the layers back, it was beautifully written by someone who I admire. It was beautifully acted. I'm gonna cry. It was beautifully acted by these actors, and I can't think right now, but you guys did such such an amazing job. And I just like, I walked away from that film not knowing how I did. And then when I saw the first edit, I was like, damn, I'm really proud of these people that came together and accepted me to make this movie. So anyways,
really
I want to
proud
get
of
our
you.
first.
Yes, we're proud of you.
And Pam for knocking it out of the park with an amazing script.
Seriously.
Yeah,
It is-
really
it
a
is-
great script.
It is. And I'm thankful that you didn't decide to film it in your backyard.
Yeah, same on that little iPhone.
Pam, any last words before we go?
Go watch Almost Popular.
Go watch.